Welcome to Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria, with a legacy of excellence and a vision for nurturing future leaders. Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution where you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution where you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu Labour talks on minimum wage adjourned till next week. School collapses and students writing examination in Jos. On the foreign scene, Israel strikes kill 32 in Gaza. And in sports transfer, Paris Saint-Germain submits €200 million bid for Napoli duos Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Uyi Agmofwebe. President Bola Tinubu has welcomed the decision of the Supreme Court affirming the spirit, intent, and purpose of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the statutory rights of local governments. The president, according to a statement signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Ajiro Ngalale, noted that one of the fundamental challenges to the nation's advancement over the years has been ineffective local government administration, as governance at that level, according to Tinubu, is nearly absent. Re-echoing his relief over the Apex Court's verdict, the president emphasized that the onus is now on local council leaders to ensure that the broad spectrum of Nigerians living at the local government level are satisfied that they are benefiting from people-oriented service delivery. The meeting held between President Bola Tinubu and the organized labor minimum wage has been adjourned until next week to allow a wider consultation with all stakeholders. The tripartite committee of the new national minimum wage had recently submitted two figures to the president, as the organized private sector and the government team offered to pay 62,000 naira, while the organized labor demanded 250,000 naira. Following the disagreements over the figure, the president had delayed sending any figure to the National Assembly through the executive bill to consult with all the relevant stakeholders in order to resolve all the contentious issues. The federal government has floored the 36 state governors of the Supreme Court, as the Apex Court granted full financial autonomy to the 774 local governments in the country. The seven-man panel, in a unanimous decision, outlawed the appointment of caretakers committees to administer the local governments by state governors. A federal high court in Abuja has granted former Minister of Power Salem Mamman bail in the sum of 10 billion naira with two sureties in like sum. Mamman is facing 12 counts of money laundering to the tune of 33 billion naira preferred against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The court, in a ruling delivered by Justice James Omotosho, held that the sureties must be owners of landed properties within the Federal Capital Territory with a minimum valuation of 750 million naira. The sureties were also ordered to submit their 3-year tax clearance certificates, deposed to an affidavit of means, adding that both the defendants and sureties must submit certified copies of their bank statements with their recent passport photographs. Many students are currently trapped in a school which collapsed in Busa Buji community of Jos North local government area of Plateau State. According to witnesses, the building housing St. Academy caved in around 11 a.m. today, leaving students who were writing exams trapped. Rescue operations were ongoing, and security personnel, including soldiers and police, had arrived at the scene. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, says the National Assembly would work with the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, to address the lack of confidence in elections conducted by state independent electoral commissions. Akpabio spoke to journalists after a meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the State House. Kebbi State's government has reiterated its commitment to continue to promote culture and tradition to strengthen the unity of the people. The State's Commissioner for Information and Culture, Yakubu Kebbi, stated this at the first Unity Cultural Festival organized by the Ministry of Information and Culture at Haliru Abdul Stadium in Birnin Kebbi. Ikalamo Okere completes the report.
Culture has colossal potency for unity and social cohesion among diverse groups in the society. As such, the administration of Nasir Idris of Kebbi State says it will incorporate promotion of culture among its policy trusts. Kebbi State Commissioner for Information and Culture, Yakubu Ahmed Binin Kebbi, says Governor Kaura Gwandu has placed premium on developing culture for social cohesion, unity and economic growth, hence his support to the Ministry of Information and Culture to stage the first cultural festival of unity in the state.
The culture that we have too, the diverse culture, very rich, and we first the need at the ministry level for the first time in the history of Kebbi State to organize independently a mini cultural show that will feature all the ethnic, some of the ethnic groups that we have in Kebbi State. And the idea is to show the culture, enjoy it, and explore the possibilities of uniting the state. And about 13 ethnic groups. That tells you that we are looking for unity in diversity, and I think it's going to be a yearly affair from now on.
The permanent secretary in the ministry, Seidu Buhari Wara, urged participants to use the platform as a veritable tool for peace and unity in the society. He further urged artists and performers to strive to instill virtue of tolerance through their performance into farmers and others to enhance economic fortune and peace.
Let me use the medium to urge the participants to see the forum like this as a veritable tool through which peace, unity, and diverse cultural heritage is transmitted and promoted.
To make it known that, inshallah, this event is going to be sustained. We are collaborating, my office is collaborating with the Honorable Commissioner of Information to see that peace and unity, particularly the propagation of government programs and activities, are carried out in the state.
Among the groups that showcase cultural talent were Fulani, Zambara, Dikaki, Kambari, Tiv, Igbo, and Yoruba, to the delight of spectators. Kike Lomo Okeri, Global Television News.
A group, the Coalition of River State Leaders of Thought, has called on the Martin Ameawule-led House of Assembly to drop its plan to impeach Governor Siminalayi Fubara to avoid anarchy in the state. The coalition says the recent actions of the 27 lawmakers loyal to Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, were capable of plunging the state into an unimaginable crisis. The appeal court on July 4 had ruled that Ameawule and 24 other lawmakers in his faction remained members of the State House of Assembly, voiding the earlier High Court order which restrained the lawmakers. A new report by the World Bank has revealed that the public expenditure on education and health in Nigeria is inadequate by any standard. The report, titled Human Capital Public Expenditure and Institutional Review, is an analysis of financing and governance constraints for the delivery of basic education and primary health care in the country. The World Bank says the spending on health and education is low, mainly because of the overall level of public spending, which is constrained by the very low overall revenue. The Military High Command says it has put in place measures to forestall plans of enemies to target some critical infrastructure in the country. Addressing journalists on the operational activities of the troops in the various theaters of operations, Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says security agencies responsible for securing critical infrastructure and facilities have been placed on alerts. Ikalomo Okere has more for us.
General Edward Buba says the military is keeping up the pressure through ongoing operation in 5 active theaters across the country, with the Northeast and Northwest having the highest level of intensity. He noted that the operations are complex as troops are engaged in fighting in difficult terrain and adversaries that adopt various forms across the country.
That they even get women in their camps for their pleasures. All these add to the complexities of our ongoing operation. In essence, the terrorists have a support base of collaborators, and we must fish out these collaborators. That is the reason I keep repeating that winning the war without the support of the people is close to impossible.
In the South-South zone, the director says the troops denied the oil theft of over 1 billion naira while destroying 18 dugout pits, 30 boats, and 40 storage tanks.
Troops neutralized 187 terrorists during the week, even as we arrested 183 persons. Troops also arrested 43 perpetrators of oil theft, as we rescued 109 kidnapped hostages across the country during the week.
The Military High Command pledged to continue to fight for the safety and the security of citizens while safeguarding the nation. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kikelomo. You're watching News Express, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using a Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. When the news returns, Niger Delta Development Commission set to drive development with 1.9 trillion naira budget. We'll tell you more about that and bring you more stories after this short break. Do stay with us.
Time check. It's midday. Then it's Midday Discourse. Midday Discourse is a program that covers trending local and international news, current issues, and human-related topics. Join Samuel Odi weekdays 1 p.m. on Global Television. The discussion starts here.
This is Global Television, bringing you a live broadcast of News Express with Uyag Mofwewe. We appreciate your time with us. Now let's turn to the foreign scene, where Israeli strikes have killed another 32 people in Gaza Strip, according to Health Ministry in the Hamas-ruled Palestinian territory, with more than 9 months into Hamas's war with Israel. Fighting raged from the north to the south of the coastal territory as talks have continued towards reaching a truce and hostage release deal. Hamas militants seized the captives during their unprecedented October 7 attack on southern Israel that triggered the war. In a brief statement, Gaza's health ministry said 32 martyrs, a majority of them children and women, were taken to hospitals overnight because of continued massacres by Israeli forces. The recent Israeli military evacuation order to all residents of Gaza City to relocate from the south to central Gaza Strip amid intensified operations in the north has been described as irrelevant by Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria, Abdullah Abu Shawesh, as according to him, no place is safe in Gaza. He made the remark at a press briefing in Abuja. Global Television's Anthony Momodu was there for us. We'll bring you details of that story and subsequent bulletin. Let's turn beyond Africa now. U.S. President Joe Biden, under intense scrutiny over his fitness to serve, accidentally introduced Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as Russian strongman Vladimir Putin at a notice ceremony before correcting himself. Biden's candidacy has been in crisis since a disastrous debate performance against Trump 2 weeks ago renewed concerns around his age, and the rare solo press conference lasting about an hour was designed to show he still has what it takes. The president has faced a steady drumbeat of Democrats calling for him to abandon his 2024 candidacy, fearing that Trump is in a position to beat him. Sudanese security authorities have ordered all foreigners to leave the capital, Khartoum, and the surrounding region. They have 2 weeks to do so, according to a statement from the section of the police dealing with foreigners. Foreigners should leave for their own safety amid the fighting still raging between government troops and the Rapid Support Forces, RSF. At least 4 people were killed due to lightning in India's eastern state of Bihar. Heavy rains and thunderstorms accompanied by lightning strikes lashed several parts of the state during the past hours, affecting 7 districts. Reports said most casualties occurred when lightning struck people working in fields and taking shelter under stress and trees during the rain. Bihar's Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has expressed sympathy with the victims' families and announced monetary relief for them. And in business, the Senate has rejected a bill seeking to review foreign exchange market regulations in the country. The piece of legislation, sponsored by Chairman Senate Committee on Finance, Sani Musa, also seeks to make provisions for the control, monitoring, and supervision of transactions conducted in the foreign exchange markets. In his lead debate, Musa described the bill as an important legislation that seeks to repeal the Foreign Exchange Monitoring and Miscellaneous Provision Act, CAP F34, laws of the Federation of Nigeria. The federal government and crude oil producers in Nigeria have committed to working towards a sustainable supply of crude oil to local refineries under a market-determined pricing system. Both parties said the aim of the commitment was to ensure that while the operators do business optimally, the refineries are not starved of feedstock. Accordingly, the industry regulator, the Nigeria Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, NUPRC, has directed oil refiners in the country to provide monthly price quotes on crude supply. The federal government says the conversion of petrol and diesel-powered commercial vehicles to run on compressed natural gas, CNG, is going to be free of charge. The program's director and chief executive of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Michael Oluwagbemi, disclosed this to journalists after the government's agency had signed agreements with various companies in Abuja. He declared that after signing the agreements with various companies involved in the conversion of petrol and diesel-powered vehicles to operate on CNG, it says commercial transporters under their different unions, including the Road Transport Employers Association of Nigeria, National Union of Road Transport Workers, Nigeria Association of Road Transport Owners, among others, would benefit from the initiative. The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, says the early approval of its 2024 budget will help to fast-track the development of the Niger Delta region. The Commission's Managing Director, Samuel Obuku, said this while presenting its 2024 budget estimates of 1.9 trillion naira to the House of Representatives Committee on NDDC in Abuja. According to a statement, the NDDC Director of Corporate Affairs, Saladin Wakama, said that the significant progress had already been made in the region and efforts were underway to complete all ongoing projects. Nigerians have appealed to the federal government to evolve a means of putting an end to the continuous and arbitrary increase in feed prices. This is coming on the heels of the ongoing feed crisis affecting the daily lives of many Nigerians. Global TV's Queen Agaba, who went on a market survey, now brings us details.
Inflation and economic challenges have driven up the prices of basic food items. As a result, millions of Nigerians are experiencing food insecurity, with many struggling to afford and access the nutritious food necessary for a healthy life. Conducting a market survey with emphasis on comparing prices from what it was to what it is now, traders lament the rising food prices, disrupted supply chains, and many economic challenges that make feeding and doing business difficult.
Things are very expensive. Even before, you can buy gari 200 naira, mudu 200 or 150, but now gari is 1,500 naira. I don't know what this country is happening. Even sugar, now even to feed is the problem to us. Even our children, even school fees. What is happening in this country? Things are very expensive. Even before, you can buy gari 200 naira, mudu 200 or 150, but now gari is 1,500 naira. I don't know what this country is happening. Even sugar, now even to feed is the problem to us. Even mangi now, mangi they are selling before 10, 15 naira, sometimes 5, 20 naira, but now one mangi is 120 naira. Everything are very expensive. Before you can buy meat 300 naira. You can buy 500 naira. Now you cannot buy even meat 300 or 500 naira or 1,000 naira.
Price of cow now is increasing all the time. Cow we used to buy 500,000 before. Now we buy cow 1.2 million, 1.3 million to kill. And one cage is 6,000 naira each one cage now. And our customers are complaining.
Traders beckon on the government to pay urgent attention and coordinated efforts to mitigate its impact on the vulnerable population.
Look at fuel now. As it increases every month, our president said we should have patience. He will do something. We are wanting to see what he's doing. Rather, he's increasing the fuel every blessed day. Imagine gari, poor man food. I didn't know whether our president are eating gari or what. Why the gari is so high like that? By this hour, we are buying gari 1,500 for a mudu. So a time will reach now, a cup will be 1,500.
Before we selling vegetable an amount of 15 naira, now from 15 naira to 100 naira, from 100 naira to 200, which is not fair. If you notice now, a price of spaghetti is now high. Before, a price of spaghetti was 14,000, 13,000. Now you cannot even afford it in that short amount again.
Nigerian traders are calling on the federal government to take proactive measures to curb food crisis in the country, particularly unregulated prices and some economic policies biting hard and greatly affected by many. For Global Television.
Thank you, Queen Agaba. Let's bring you some excitement from sports now. Joshua Zirkzee's transfer to Manchester United has taken a step closer, with the Bologna forward arriving in the city ahead of medical. Instead of meeting his £34 million release clause, the Red Devils are set to pay £35.8 million for the Netherlands international, who was pictured leaving Manchester Airport in a car after landing on Thursday night. In a move to bolster their attacking lineup, Paris Saint-Germain have submitted a €200 million bid for Napoli's Chichiva Caracella and Victor Osimhen, as reported by Colonel Dello Sport. This bid comes in the wake of Kylian Mbappe's departure to Real Madrid. Mbappe, who joins the Spanish giants as a free agent, is set to be unveiled later this week. Napoli's new manager, Antonio Conte, remains firm on retaining him, emphasizing the player's importance to his squad. As we end the news here on Global Television, let's bring you a quick look at some of our top stories. The scheduled talks between President Bola Tinubu and the leadership of the organized labor on the new minimum wage has been adjourned till next week. A school has collapsed on students writing examinations in Jos, Plateau State capital. On the foreign scene, Israeli strikes have killed 32 in Gaza. And in sports, Paris Saint-Germain have submitted a €200 million bid for Napoli duo Osimhen and Kvaratskhelia transfer. And that's it on News Express, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using our Global TVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Muya Agumofwe, saying a very big thank you to you for watching. Coming up at top of the hour will be the desk. Do stay with Global Television.